What we're demonstrating here is pretty much a simple cupping procedure. This is cupping therapy, and there's lots of different forms of cupping. What we're demonstrating here is dry cupping. And the procedure is really straightforward. The concept is very simple. We're using mechanical vacuum. You can use heat and various other ways of creating a suction, but we're just basically using a mechanical vacuum pump. We're using a valved suction cup, and we apply the two together and we create a suction, okay, by sucking the air out, which is really simple, basically.
We can see it pulls the skin up and makes that mark. And
yes.
you've already done some of this on Aaron's back. Aaron, are you okay?
Yeah, not too bad.
What does it feel like?
Just feels like a nice stretch, really. You just feel really relaxed.
You feel relaxed?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Right, so that's pulling the suction, is obviously the vacuum that's created is pulling the skin up.
Yeah.
What's the point of it, Riz?
Okay, so generally people find it very, very relaxing, and it does lots of things, actually. We can see from what's happening right now that there's something going on. So it's not simple placebo, there's some physiological changes that are happening right now. When we have suction, we have a negative pressure. So many times when we have injuries and we have tissue damage, we have a phenomenon known as inflammation occurring. Now, when inflammation happens, you get more blood in an area, and often you get pressure in an area. And where that tissue becomes pressurized, often you get nerve endings that stretch, because we're made up of a closed system. There's no way for that to go very easily. So quite often this is why we get swellings and things. A simple example is if you've ever sprained your ankle, you'll feel that it kind of swells up and it feels really tight, and that tightness causes a lot of pain.
And what's your expertise? What's your background? Because you're a registered chiropractor.
That's correct, yeah.
Cupping is an unregulated area, and presumably anyone can do it, can they?
Yeah, well, cupping therapy is it's under voluntary self-regulation, so pretty much.
So anyone can do it.
Yeah, just like acupuncture or just like massage therapy or various other types of complementary therapies. Yeah, my background is in chiropractic medicine, so the concept is the same.
Okay.
We're looking for natural ways of helping the body heal itself, basically.
All right, well, let me bring in Professor Colquhoun. Good morning to you from University College London.
Hello. Hello.
Is there any science behind this at all?
No, I'm afraid that the spiel you've just been given is entirely hocus pocus, but perhaps that's not surprising from a chiropractor, because chiropractic is disproven itself. It was the subject of a court case recently, where when Simon Singh defined it as a happily providing bogus treatments, and he won the case in court, thank heavens. So no, it's just pulling up a bit of skin. It's not going to affect the muscle to any noticeable extent, and taken to extreme, it can cause harm. It usually doesn't. It's usually just what Ben Goldacre would call a voluntary tax on the gullible. Right,
fair enough. How do you respond to that, a voluntary tax on the gullible?
Well, I think everything new will have its opposition, and obviously we've got ours here.
Not you.
But in general, you know, lots of things such as cupping, such as chiropractic. You know, chiropractic is actually something which is proven by recommended by the NICE guidelines, the National Institute of Excellence.
It's been withdrawn.
And GPs and doctors are actually recommended to tell their patients or encourage their patients to seek
I don't know if you heard Professor
care.
Colquhoun. He says it's been withdrawn from the NICE guidelines.
Okay.
It never was recommended by NICE. They recommended manipulative therapy. They didn't mention chiropractic, and that's been revised and removed entirely. I'm afraid you're very out of date there.
Okay.
I had a look at a 2012 review of cupping. It said the studies that had been reviewed for the review generally were of low methodological quality, and more research was needed.
Well, Victoria, what I'd say is that a good example is, you know, just now we were talking about maternity and childbirth and so forth. Science often takes a long time to catch up with what actually works. And when you have, sometimes, unfortunately, out of arrogance, the idea that we know everything and that we can prove and understand everything, we sometimes forget that sometimes the things which are known to have worked for a long time are actually very beneficial. And what you'll find even in, for example, midwifery, they're going back to find out that a lot of the things that midwives have been practicing for centuries are actually now scientifically proven.
You can see Professor Colquhoun's face. He's shaking his head. He's got a wry smile. Final word to you.
Well, there's no amount of anecdote that will supplant data. They simply need some proof. There isn't any proof. There's it's not been properly tested. Acupuncture's been properly tested and shown not to work. Most complementary therapies fall into one of two categories. They're either disproven, like acupuncture and chiropractic, or they're unproven, like cupping. People should not be selling unproven treatments for money.
Okay. Aaron, just want to check you're okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay, not too bad. All right. Thank you very much for showing us this. Professor Colquhoun, thanks for your time. Riz Suleiman and Aaron Otley, thank you for being the man on the couch.